Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the Real Steel Sidus, S-I-D-U-S. I say Sidus, Sidus, Sidus. It's probably not Sidus. I'm sure it's not that. But this is another collaboration between Real Steel and Poltergeist Knife Works. They're doing a whole lot with them, which I think is a good thing. I've liked every one of them I've had so far. They've all been pretty nice knives. You can see their maker's mark up here, that kind of flattened skull. Designer out of Poland. They're describing this kind of as a more slender version of the Terra. I reviewed the Terra previously. That will be the suggested video at the end of this. I really like the Terra a lot. Great slicer, really good knife. This is the same as that as far as that goes. It comes in several different versions, and a couple of the versions are the reason why this is, I think, a really important knife for Real Steel. One that you should probably pay attention to. It might make you want to pay more attention to Real Steel in the future. That does come in a regular black G10 with a blacked out blade. I'm going to be quoting prices from the Real Steel website because this knife is not in retailers' hands yet, so it may be going to being a bit cheaper than this once they come out to other people. But on the Real Steel website, the G10 blacked out version is $85. There is a version with gorgeous shredded carbon copper scales that's getting like little flakes of copper in it, stuff that's really, really pretty, for $96. And then this version is the shredded carbon moon glow, and that meaning it does glow in the dark, which I will demonstrate shortly. But when there's light on it and it's not glowing, it just looks like really nice shredded carbon with a nice jade G10 backspacer, basically. But that's not at all what it is. It does light up quite well, as we will see in a mere moment. But very, very cool knife, and this carbon is just, it's nice. Forget the moon glow stuff. Like I said, in daylight, it looks normal. If you don't care about the glow, don't make that stop you from buying it. It doesn't show up most of the time. It's only when it's like completely dark out that you it really pops, and it's got to have a bit of a charge before it does. And it's going to be in your pocket all the time. So odds are that you're going to have this glowing thing sticking in your pocket are pretty slim, to be honest with you. But very, very cool. And it's, as I said, it's just so well done. I'm going to bring out a couple other carbon knives just to show you. But as you can see, close up, no voids or anything. Really well done. This is a North Arm Skaha 2 in a carbon fiber. This is just as good, if not better. And this is at most a $100 knife. Again, I don't know what the prices are going to be once it hits dealers. This is $220. And as I said, this is just as good, if not better. One more I'll bring out here, the Southern Grind Spider Monkey. Again, I can't say the carbon on this is better. Yeah, it's really good carbon. It's really, really nice. But before we go any farther, if you guys are just here to see the glow, let's do the party trick. I'm going to charge it up with a flashlight here. Because like I said, it spends most of its time in my pocket or around the house, and it's not going to get charged up very well that way. It's just like, you know, anything glow in the dark you had when you were a kid. It's got to get some light before it really pops. And then I'm going to charge this up, and then I'm going to flick off my lights. Like, not with an obscene gesture. I'm just going to turn them off. But you know what I mean. The backspacer charges up much better and faster than the carbon does, for sure, because it's just kind of buried in here in resin. But let's turn the lights off, get all this going. This has just been sitting here all day, so I'm giving it a good charge there. But now I'll flick the light. You can already see it. Yeah, it glows. It glows for sure. And I will say, what you're seeing, I'm looking through the camera right now. It's pretty accurate. That's pretty much how it looks. It's not over exaggerated. It definitely glows a whole lot. Yeah. But as you can see, like you do have to charge up the scales because the carbon just doesn't, and it doesn't hold the charge for super long either. It's not something that like makes it like a safety thing, like, oh, I'll be able to find it in the dark. I don't really think that's really the purpose of it. And you see you turn lights on and poof, it's gone. I think that's pretty cool. Is it gimmicky? Yeah, it's totally gimmicky, but they're not charging a lot for it. And I can't really complain about that. And I kind of like it. I kind of think it's neat. And they're not the only ones doing it now. The whole glow in the dark thing, it is becoming a bit of a, I'm not going to call it a fad yet, because we'll see if it sticks around. But, you know, Benchmade did some gold class with the glow. ZT has a regular production. 0393 has carbon, glowing carbon fiber. It's glowing carbon fiber is definitely a thing now, and to see it on a knife at this price is pretty cool. And as you can see in the pictures don't lie. It works. It definitely does pop. It does glow. It is pretty cool. If you're into that. If you're not, get the shredded carbon with the copper will be my recommendation. Or if you're really not into even that, and you just want some plain, they make the G10 version with the black dot blade. But let's talk more about this as a knife. Why don't we? Now that we got the gimmicks out of the way, let's do some specs and some size comparisons. We have an overall length of 8.15 inches, blade length of 3.54 inches, blade thickness of 0.12 inches. You have a handle thickness of 0.55 inches and a weight of 4.1 ounces. So not too bad. It's past that that magical 1 ounce, or 1 ounce to inch of blade length ratio, but it is very well milled out inside. So I'm not really seeing how they could have lightened it up a whole lot more. You have stainless steel liners, D2 blade. It is running on pretty unique phosphor bronze washers. It's got two very, very thin phosphor bronze washers and a third very, very thin Teflon washer on one side, and on the other side it's just got one very, very thin phosphor bronze washer and one very, very thin Teflon on the other. But it gives an action that's good. We'll get to that as we go on, but a bit unique there. As I said, construction, super easy to take apart, all that stuff. And I think the overall look of it is pretty dang cool. But let's get on to those size comparisons. First up, we will bring out some of our usuals. Bring out here your usual, well, we'll bring out the Benchmade full-size Griptilian first because I grabbed the wrong one. This is the full-size Benchmade Griptilian, very similar in size to that. And now we will put it in our Spyderco sandwich. And we'll do the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And your Spyderco Para 3. This happens to be the lightweight version, but it's the exact same size as the regular version. Yeah, you can see it's about PM2 size. So not bad at all. And one more, since this is a new knife that you guys, I'm sure, haven't seen before because you can't really buy them yet. Let's do the, I guess, well, you can get them on the Real Steel website, so I'm sorry, I'm misspeaking a little bit there, but we'll do the Kershaw Bare Knuckle. Again, very, very similar in overall size to that. Let's talk more about this knife. As I said, I think before, this is a multi-take video, so I don't remember if I said or not. They are kind of calling this a more slim version of the Terra. And one of the things I liked the most about the Terra was the blade. It was an awesome, awesome, awesome slicer. Thankfully, just as good. You're still getting the same pretty thin blade stock, 0.12 inches, the same full flat grind, and the same glorious, awesome thinness behind the edge. I measured it at 13 thousandths behind the edge, and it's laser sharp out of the box. It is a great, great, great slicer. It's really good, just as good as the Terra. And with this blade height being a bit shorter, I think it does seem to have beefed up the tip just a little bit. If I can get my hand to focus on it, there you go. Yeah, it's a great blade. It's really, really nice. Really, really good blade. I have no complaints about the blade at all. Real Steel does seem to do a pretty good job with their D2. I know it's been tested by people and all that stuff, and it seems to be pretty good D2. I know D2 is pretty ubiquitous right now, and some people are like, it's Chinese D2. Some Chinese D2 is still pretty good. It depends on the company, and Real Steel seems to do a pretty good job with it. Ergonomically, yeah, it's excellent. I'm very, very pleased with it. They have this nice cutout for the lock bar, which we'll talk more about in a moment. My fingers land on it perfectly. The jimping is just the right amount, just what I want. No hot spots at all. Like I cannot stress how few hot spots this thing has. It's just, I can't feel the clip at all. Like I literally cannot feel it at all. It is a nice deep carry clip, but and it's recessed a little bit, but just the location of it, it's not completely all the way up here where it's going to cause a hot spot. They do leave just a little bit sticking out of the pocket, but it makes it carry so much nicer. So I can't really complain. It's just, the ergonomics on this thing are just so good. Yeah, no complaints whatsoever. blown away by the ergonomics on this knife. It's one of the best knives ergonomically I've reviewed this year, at least this year. It's very, very good, maybe even more than that. Now, how does it carry? We'll close her up here. And yeah, not too bad. Slides right on the pocket, easy. Obviously, it's going over carbon. I don't know the texture of that G10. I have not held it, so I don't know if that's going to be grippier and be a pocket destroyer. I kind of doubt it. That's not really Real Steel's thing, so I kind of doubt it. I do have another Real Steel with G10 on it here, the Metamorph and Indiana Knives exclusive one, and it's not at all like pocket destroyer grippy. So I'd imagine it's probably the same sort of texture. Yeah, a little bit sticking out. But not a lot. As I said, if you're in the dark and you've been out in the sun and this glowing backspacer lights up, yeah, I guess that would be pretty obvious. And that might happen. I could see if you're out on a sunny day and you walk into a rave, yeah, it's going to be glowing in your pocket. But this is not the only option that you can have. As far as getting your hand in and out of the pocket, there's no flipper tab. There's nothing sharp to grab a hold of. The weight is good. They said it's not mind-blowingly light, but it's good. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. As far as the action goes, that's if I have one disappointment with this knife, it's that. And I believe, I haven't gone back and watched my own video, so if I say differently in that video, I don't remember being blown away by the Terra's action either. And yeah, this is fine. You got to get a little bit of wrist. It'll thumb flick. There's no flipper tab, as I said. It's just this deployment hole. It'll spidey flick, but you got to give it a bit of wrist. And yeah, it's okay. It's not objectionable. It is not a fidget toy. This will not. Yeah, so just hit the camera. Yeah, I can't wrist drop it at all. It's smooth. It's just not, totally free shutty. Lockup is great though. I will say, and one thing I forgot to mention earlier, I tried to loosen it up a little bit, but as you can see out of the box, the blade centering is just a bit off. It's not dramatic, but it is just a bit off. And if I adjust it, it gets more off, and it doesn't really help the action. So action is mediocre. I guess it's the best way to describe it. It's not anything objectionable, and if you're going to slow roll it, you're not going to care anyway. But yeah, that's that for the mediocre action. And my overall conclusion is, yeah, I mean, I like a lot of Real Steel's products. I freaking love the Metamorph and all of its many versions. I have another Metamorph or another Real Steel review coming up too. They just sent me a bunch of stuff together. So yeah, this was provided by the manufacturer, by the way. I'm sorry I forgot to say that up front. I usually say it up front. This is my 4th or 5th take of this video. I'm not redoing it, but yes, it was provided to me by the manufacturer along with a couple other knives. So you'll be seeing a couple more as time goes on. Oh, here it is. I actually have it here. The Archangel, they're just doing a lot of cool stuff lately, and good for them. And I'm so happy to see them doing higher end materials. Shredded Moonglow carbon in a $100 knife. Never would have thought to see that, this year. That's pretty cool. And yes, are they following a trend? Yeah, maybe, but so what? That's good. That means they're paying attention because other big companies are doing the moon glow, and then they jumped on it. Great. I'm totally fine with that. They've always made good quality products. I have never had a Real Steel that I hated, and this definitely is not one. This is probably my favorite Real Steel I've had other than the Metamorph. You guys know I have a love affair with the Metamorph, but other than the Metamorph, this is my favorite Real Steel I've ever handled. It's just the ergonomics are so excellent. Awesome slicey lightsaber of a blade. And it's gimmicky. Yeah, it's got moon glow, but yeah, it's got moon glow. You can look at that either way. It's like, it's got moon glow, or it's got moon glow. And I did not specify which one I wanted when they sent this to me. If I was to buy one with my own money, I might go with the shredded copper because it does look really, really cool. But yeah, and oh, by the way, you do get your usual really nice box with the with the cloth and everything in there, which is really good. And you get all your little literature and stuff. Yeah, it's they're a good company to deal with, and they make nice stuff. And I'm so happy to see them bumping up a bit in the quality of materials that they're using. So keep on it, guys. I'm really excited to see what's coming up. I'm going to Blade Show here in just when when this video comes up, I'll be in a car on my way there. So I'm really excited to see if they got everything new there. But yeah, the Real Steel Sidus, the Moonglow Carbon, pretty cool. Is it a gimmick? Yes. Is it a cool gimmick? Yes. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.